Are you worried about van life ending? Are you worried about getting that famous knock and getting moved on? Are you worried that the government are out to get us all and they're eventually going to end van life?
Are you worried that there'll be nowhere to park up going forward? And are you worried that channels like ours, different van life travel channels, will be ending in 2026?
So in this video, we're going to put your mind at rest on all these issues because we believe that in 2026, van life genuinely has never been easier. So we've said van life is easy before, haven't we? We're actually well known for saying van life is easy. And it's something we feel so strongly about, but despite the previous videos, people are still worried. So we're like, right, let's do a video that puts it to bed, hopefully once and for all.
I am literally going to leave Reese to do this next bit. I'm the most useless sidekick right now, full of cold, feeling like rubbish, keep forgetting absolutely everything. So I'm going to leave him to talk about this next bit, and I'm just getting it van and giving up.
So firstly, we've never had the knock. We've been doing van life now for 13 years. It's a long time, that, innit? And we've never had the knock. We've never had the famous move on knock anywhere in 13 years. That includes Europe and the UK. And people say, including us, that Europe's really easy. And there's this whole thing about the UK not being easy. And we think as well Europe's easy, but so is the UK, you know, and there's this whole kind of thing about the UK not being easy for van life and it being easier in Europe. And it is easier in Europe, it is, it really is easier in Europe. They're very, very van life, camper van, motorhome friendly. But the UK is easy. We parked in this lay-by last night, and it's a lovely little lay-by. It's set off from the road. Beautiful scenery, just kind of in Northumberland, just outside the national park, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. We woke up to these views, and lay-bys are your friend. And people say, you know, about this getting moved on. We've never in 13 years had anything but positive engagement with police and wardens and park rangers. They've always been lovely, you know, and quite the opposite to moving us on. Sometimes they'll come round and say, is everything okay? But I think that's only happened to us twice. And I think that were in Spain when they came round and said, is everything okay? So we're going to head now to our next park up, and what we're going to do is we're going to do this in a way that almost proves that it's easy. So we're just going to pick a random location. We're not going to start off looking at Park for Night, which if you're new to van life, we will talk about Park for Night. But we're just going to pick a random location and see if we can find a park up pretty much immediately to stay the night. So that's what we're going to do. And then when we get there, we're going to go through all the different things that make van life easy in the UK. Talking of lay-bys as well, did you know there's about 4,000 lay-bys in the UK, and lay-bys are your best friend. Yes, they're sometimes not the most scenic, although this is great. But lay-bys are your friend. I always say, if a truck can park there, you can park there when it comes to lay-bys. They're set up for you to sleep, and they're just everywhere, aren't they?
Right, so I'm having a look at where we are now and what's around us. We want a decent enough town, don't we?
Yeah.
So somewhere somewhere that's not too busy, maybe. What about this one looks funny. Halt Whistle. That's a funny name for a place, isn't it? What about that?
Let's do that.
Right, let's go there. I don't know how far it is. 23 minutes?
Perfect. We don't yet know whether there's going to be any park ups here. I don't know if I've been there before, no idea. Emma's just picked a random place, so we're going to get there, then go and park for night and see if there's anywhere that we can park up for the evening.
Remember when you told me that I should take it slow, but I can't stay when the world is waiting. I'm too used to being on my own. Hearts will break, but I have to change.
We've just arrived at this little place. No idea where we're going to park up and sleep yet. We haven't looked at that yet, but we do need some water, so we just pulled up into Co-op car park to get a bottle of water. People ask us, like, how do you get water? Well, we just buy it or we find a public tap. Right, that's the water done. So we're going to now type it into Park for Night and see what's around this area. And then when we get to the next park up, when we get to this place where we're going to stay for the night, we're going to talk about all the things that make van life easy in the UK. So we have a full list of all the places you can stay really easy throughout the entire country. Emma is currently foraging for wood and twig. Okay, she's well happy.
Is that just rubbish? It'll need drying out, but if I stick it in my footwell down here and put the heater on.
She's now litter picking on her way to the bin. Right, on Park for Night. So if you don't know what Park for Night is, it's a little app.
And
then
you just look for parking spots.
it shows you, look, it is there again.
It shows you, basically, it shows you all the different types of parking spots. So, like things like this with a tent on are just campsites. And there's day parking, night parking. These little purple ones that you get here are all to do with like getting water or being able to wash your clothes or things like that, like amenities. There's ones with tractors on, which means it's a farmer's field where you might pay a certain fee. There's loads in this area, absolutely loads. We are right in the centre of this halt whistle. I'm not sure if we've been here before or not. I can't work it out. Some bits look familiar, but let's just look at the closest ones that there are. Right, so this one is a lay-by, but it's not a lay-by off the road. It's one on the side of the road, which we tend to try and avoid because we don't like the risk of somebody coming flying past and knocking into you, obviously, in the night. So that's a no-go for us. The next one is this one. Somebody's taking a picture of a bush. It's not very helpful. Oh, hang on. Oh, this looks all right. See, a lot of them look similar to other places you've been to before, don't they? So you never really know. But there's bins there. There's plenty of space. It's a car park by the looks of it. Yeah, I'm not sure if it might be next to some water, that.
Let's just try that one.
Let's give that a go. See how far away it is.
So we would normally like show you around the town and stuff. We'd usually spend money either by going and getting a coffee or having a look around a couple of charity shops. For the sake of this video, we're just going to go to the park up, obviously, to keep showing you like this idea that van life is easy in the UK. But we're probably going to go there, whether we'll film it or not, I don't know, but probably going to have a wander around the town, spend a little money, get a coffee, either today if it's close enough, or in the morning we'll probably wander in and get some breakfast. But for now, let's head to this park up. Nice little town, isn't it?
That's lovely.
In 200 yards, turn right onto Fair Hill.
Well, this is actually a perfect park up for us. It's absolutely ideal. We've never been to this park up before. Just having a quick kind of look around. It's a football. It seems like a public parking ground for the walkway, but it's also a football club that's not open today. But it looks like it may be parking for that as well. Only thing you'd have to probably consider is if it were going to be like a football day where they might need space for people to park up. But there's no restrictions here whatsoever. I can actually collect a load of pine cones for little Lenny as well, which is ideal. They've got like bins all over the place. They've got free doggy bags available in case you've got a dog that you need to pick up after. As we've been driving down, every person has stopped and smiled and waved like they're kind of expecting camper vanners to come down. So that again made us feel really, really welcome. You can go down onto this walkway here and you've got like literally a kind of 10-minute walk into town, which is absolutely ideal as well. So this is just perfect for us. It's quiet. There are houses nearby, but the fact that you've been kind of welcomed when you're driving down and people are waving, they can obviously see, you know, who you are, you know, probably guessing what you're coming here to do to park up. The fact that people have been so welcome don't off-put me from parking here. If I'd have had a different reception and there were so many houses close by, then we may have chosen to go somewhere else. But because there's like 6 different park-ups just within this small little town area, there's no issues with finding anywhere at all.
What an amazing little park up this is. Absolutely just great, isn't it? And this actually, a park up like this is good if you're worried. I'm thinking of a person in particular that tried to do stealth camping, wild camping for one night, and they had a horrible experience and they were trying to get back into it. They sent us an email. And this would be great because you've got houses nearby, the locals seem really friendly, and you're not going to kind of get boy racers or anybody intimidating, which is what this lady had experienced on her first night of trying it. So a park up like this would be brilliant for that. We're going to have a little bit of lunch now, and we're going to talk about some examples of other places, countless different places, different things that make van life easy in the UK. And then we're probably going to go and find another park up to show you, just as an example of kind of how easy it is to find 2 or 3, as Emma was saying before, in this area. But for now, it's about 2 o'clock, so we're just debating whether this is the final park up for tonight or whether it's a little bit early. And it's a little bit early, we're just going to be kind of sat here. So I just want to give you some more examples, like loads and loads of different examples of places you can park up. So first up is donation boxes, which on the first video when we said van life is easy in the UK, that's what we started with. So donation boxes are found throughout the UK. There's a great one in Kettlewell, and it's usually just a place for you to park. It's usually on Park for Night as well, the app. And it usually says £3 a night or sometimes £5 a night, and you literally put your donation in the box. You find them a lot in Cornwall and Devon. A lot of churches do it where they'll leave like a donation box. We rocked up once, I can't remember where it was, in a little village, and that were a donation, and we actually were allowed to use the shower. The guy came out and he's like, oh, do you want a shower? And so he told us where to park and we had a shower. But donation boxes across the UK are great, and the way to find those is on Park for Night. You kind of, I don't think there's a little symbol for them on Park for Night. You'll just kind of come across them, and it's people that have put on just their space basically with a donation box that they're more than happy for you to park in. So that's the first thing. The second thing is when farmers own land. So the one that immediately comes to mind is Seamer Water, which again we're on the last video, so I'm just kind of recapping a little bit here. But Seamer Water, again in the Yorkshire Dales, is just absolutely fantastic. And you just pay the little farmer around the, he's not a little farmer, you pay the farmer around the corner a little donation. Again, looking back, I can't remember without looking at the footage, but I think it's again about £5 a night. But I might be wrong on that. But again, it's just people that, you know, farmers that allow you to stay in their fields. There's actually one in Malham in the Dales that we've never filmed, but that we used to use quite a lot, where again it's a farmer's field and you pay him a fiver and he lets you park in his field. So farmers are great. On the Park for Night app as well, it does actually show you a tractor symbol, and that's farmers' fields or land that farmers own that you can pay them to go on. So when you go on your Park for Night app, you see a tractor symbol. That's really helpful there. And the other one that comes to mind immediately before we go to this next park up is pub stopovers. So pub stopovers are absolutely fantastic. We use them quite a lot. And they're just all over the country. If it's not on Park for Night, we just usually go into the pub and say, if we have a couple of drinks or if we have a bite to eat, do you mind us staying in the car park? And we've never ever been told no on that. And it's just a really safe way to park up. So pub stopovers, again, if it's not on Park for Night, just go in the pub. They can only say no, but we've never had a no. But they're more than happy for you, most of them, to park up in their car park. So pub stopovers are great. So we're going to go on Park for Night now. We're going to talk about loads more examples, but we're going to go back on Park for Night and we're going to show you another example within this location, just randomly. We don't yet know where that'll be, but just another example. So that's an estimated 4,000 lay-bys. It's places like this. And then, as we covered, it's pub stopovers, donation box places, and farmers putting stuff on. And now we're about to find a park up. But Emma, what else is there?
Well, there's the apps like Just Park and Your Parking Space, which basically gives you access to all sorts of car parks all over the UK, such as supermarkets, DIY stores, kind of bargain stores, all sorts of car parks really, and people's driveways, and it gives you access to all those different parking spots. And of course there's the up and coming, up and rising new GeoSpot. So we know that there's 3 currently that were in the UK the last time we did a vlog on it, when it was just sort of opening up. We know that there's people that have contacted us that have got land, that have already told us about places that they've got that they're willing to give out to the community to use, and they're in touch with GeoSpot at the moment trying to get those up and coming and opening. So there's so many places that you can park basically, it's endless.
And all this so far is not even mentioning stealth parking, which we're going to cover in a little bit, but we'll probably talk about that when we get to this next park up, which we're going to now. So this is a really nice spot. It's like a wooded area. It's like a car park basically, and they've got like these bays that you can park in. Bit difficult to see at night, isn't it? But it's just like this area, and it's a really, really peaceful night's sleep. Again, just 13 minutes away from where we were just then. pulled straight in. There's no signs here, there's no restrictions. We have stayed here before years ago, and if you walk down that little path just up there, there's like a little pub. So it's just a really, really nice, quiet night's sleep around here. You hear all the owls and stuff at night. It's ace from what I remember. Unfortunately, even though this is a good parking space, this is a good park up for tonight, it's no good for us because we've got some editing to do. We need to upload a video, and so we need signal basically, and there's literally 1 bar of signal, which is not enough for us, so we're going to move on yet again, just simply because we need signal. But this is a really, really quiet space just up in Northumberland. Again just going on Park for Night, and this is just over and over and over again. Whenever you pull up in a place, Park for Night, there will always be spaces, but we need to move on, as I say, because we need some signal. On to the next one, Park for Night again. So we're heading 20 minutes away. 20 minutes away there'll be another one, and apparently this one's got full 5G. Let's go. Lenny's going nicely there. So we're in the park up now. It's absolutely pitch black outside, so we're going to wait till morning and then show you this park up. We've actually been to this one before without realising. It's just a nice quiet park up. But yeah, so another thing I wanted to discuss in terms of what makes van life easy are council car parks. So you've got Shropshire. Hay-on-Wye is our absolute favourite because we love that little village, and camper vans are permitted in Hay-on-Wye car park. And then just off the top of my head, there's Ingleton car park. That is really cheap. I think that's something like, again, just off the top of my head, but I think it's something like £7 for 2 nights or something like that. It's really good. And then Skipton, where we filmed just before Christmas, which is, again, camper vans are permitted. So there's councils that are, if anything, it's turning around, and more councils are beginning to actually support van life and provide us with a place to stay. So it's just really, really good. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rules, such as Scarborough, which if you follow us, you'll know kind of that story that we've kind of latched onto and we've been doing it. But actually, Scarborough are now reinstating, or supposedly reinstating, Albert Drive, so that we can once again park there. But we're going to cover that obviously in another vlog once that's confirmed. But yeah, council car parks, you know, there's this whole thing in the way, oh, councils don't want you in, they don't want us here, and like that's just 3 straight off the top of my head. If I look back at my notes and my footage, there'll be loads more where councils provide places for camper vans, motorhomes and van lifers to stay, which is just great, isn't it?
There's also your general kind of stealth park up places that you can go to, and what that really means is that you'd pull up somewhere, you'll park up, you'll make sure that all your curtains are shut, that kind of it's not obvious that you're a camper van parked up. So it doesn't mean that you're parking somewhere where you know you're overtly not allowed to park. It just means that you might be parking on a street, in a city, things like that. When you look at us in Liverpool, when we park up in Liverpool, we're usually parked up on a street where there are some houses around. We make sure that we don't park directly in front of somebody's front door or things like that. So you're using your common sense, and you're using your kind of common sense and your intuition as to whether you feel it's a safe place for you to park up as well. So we kind of tend to find like a little back street somewhere, or a place that's in front of like a business that's closed for the evening or whatever it may be. Kind of Bristol is like, we've parked in place like that, industrial estates, things like that, where there's nothing saying that you can't, so it's not overtly telling you no, but you do want to be a bit stealth about it as well, because it's obviously not an invite for you to come and stay. So with those, that's basically anywhere in the country. You know, you might pull up on a sort of the edge of a park green or something like that, and there's no parking restrictions, no double yellow lines, whatever, and you pull up, you park up, and you just kind of batten down the hatches for the night. And with those types of places, we tend to say like, arrive late, leave early. That's the best thing to do. So just use your own judgment for that. But I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of streets when it comes to that.
Look at me, I'm literally sweating, I'm parked up, it's the middle of winter, I'm in a vest top, little Lenny is proper, and Wilson, the little windmill, proper letting some heat out here. But because Emma's poorly, I'm just trying to keep the fire going. If you do want your own little Lenny, go to Little Burners. We'll leave a link in the description, and you can get 5% off your order by quoting Romany Pirates. on your order form when you order a Little Lenny or any log burner from Little Burners. So thank you to Little Burners for being today's sponsor. But yeah, just talking about, like, what else is there? There's the heirs and the Forestry Commission, right? So especially in Scotland, like, Scotland's just epic for what we'd class as heirs, which are specific camper van places that usually the local councils put on. You find them all across Europe, France and Spain. The government put them on, and they're just insane because they're always free and they have a swimming pool and a bar and all sorts. But in the UK, we do have those, especially in Scotland, but they are all over as well. And again, you'll just probably find them on Park for Night, and it's just, that's usually a payment. It's sometimes a little bit more in the UK, it's a tenner a night, but if you are really stuck, they're really good. But a lot of them are cheaper than that, and in Europe, which obviously is not what this video is about, they are free, but which is kind of where Europe edges the UK ever so slightly. But yeah, there's the heirs and the Forestry Commission. So the Forestry Commission often, you know, there's the Scotland scheme, which is called Stay the Night. And I think it's kind of in England as well, but especially Scotland, Stay the Night, and it's run by the Forestry Commission, and you just pay to stay the night, basically. And some of those are like, you know, you can stay up to 2 or 3 nights, so that's really good. And a lot of those as well, you can empty your toilet. So there's one in Ingleton. So in Ingleton, you can stay in the car park, but then there's also a little area in Ingleton that has toilet emptying facilities as well. They have those in Scotland, toilet emptying facilities. There's one, funnily enough, on Royal Albert Drive in Scarborough that has a toilet facility, but you obviously can't park there overnight at the moment. So there's all that, but basically Park for Night is your friend. Park for Night is your best friend. If you're new to van life and you're thinking, how are they finding these park ups so easily, then Park for Night is your friend. Get that app. It is, you know, it's just a godsend. And it just basically tells you, it's just, when you look at the map, it's just littered with everywhere you can stay. And we've shown tonight, haven't we, like, you know, within the space of an hour, we've found 3 different park ups and finally settled at one just because we needed signal. But it's just, Park for Night's just incredible. Like, it really is your best friend.
We've tried loads of other apps as well as Park for Night, but we have found that is the best one. But in terms of, like, when you are parking up in any of these places that we're talking about, unless it's something like a geospot place or a farmer's field type of place where they're allowing you to kind of be there, you're paying for it overnight and it specifically is for your camping, then otherwise you need to make sure that you're not camping, you're just sleeping in your vehicle. There's a big difference. So when you're just sleeping in your vehicle, the only things that are touching the ground is the 4 wheels of your vehicle, not even any steps, not a little platform to get in and out of your vehicle, certainly no tables, chairs, that type of thing, wind breaks, all those sort of things. Nothing like that should be outside your vehicle, because you are not camping, you are just sleeping in your vehicle. And so that's a really important thing to remember. And also remembering kind of the etiquette of van life. And we keep pushing this home all the time, and especially after we did the Scarborough thing and we went round and talked to locals, because some of the things that have come up with locals was around people putting all of the camping chairs outside, taking up an entire other separate space where somebody could have parked their car, and also litter that had been left, dumping toilet waste, things like that, which I know for a fact is just a minority. It's a very small minority of people that would do that, and I don't know who it is that would do that, but it's horrendous whoever it is that's done that. So do not do those sort of things. Make sure you take a bin liner with you and a litter picker with you, pick up rubbish and make sure that you're putting it into a bin, or otherwise you're taking it back with you to dump in your bin. But make sure you're kind of leaving the place cleaner when you leave it than what you did when you found it. We keep urging people as well, take photographs of that, take pictures of it, send it into the local council of where you've been parked, give them some evidence so that if they do decide to start putting signs up and things like that, say you can't park here, you can't do this, you can't do that, they've got some evidence to the contrary of any other complaints they're getting from people that may live there, to say, well, actually, these people that are coming are keeping it clean, are making it tidy. We've got a template for that, and you can email us if you want it. So just kind of that general etiquette, leave nothing but footprints, leave no trace, making sure that you leave everything clean and tidy, and that you are self-contained within your vehicle.
So hopefully this video so far is reassuring you, it's putting your mind at rest. There is a lot of, how can I put it? There's a lot of negativity towards van life. There's a lot of kind of scaremongering that goes on. I'm not sure why. We can only give our opinion. There's usually comments saying, you know, the contrary, despite us going on for like 30 minutes. But this video it's a video for people that are worried about starting it. It's a bit of a, hopefully, reassurance if you are starting van life and you want to get out there. That's what this video is about. It's just our experience and our advice. You know, take it or leave it from the 13 years that we've been traveling in a van. And so there's a couple more things that I do want to talk about, and I want to show you this park up. But for now, it's getting quite late. Lenny's going out, Emma's poorly. So I know that's another point as well. I know it's not being our usual jumpy selves and, you know, the kind of laughs and stuff that we normally have, but you can hear my voice, you can hear Emma's, like, we're still really poorly, we're still really suffering from this flu thing or whatever it was that we had over Christmas. So but hopefully it's been helpful. But I do want to touch on a couple more points that I think are really, really important, and I do want to show you this park up. So we're going to get Lenny going, get settled down. I'm going to make Emma a drink, then we're going to go to bed, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Morning, guys. What a peaceful night's sleep it we're out here. We're right by the water. I'll show you in a second. And it's just a lovely, lovely, peaceful park up. Like, you can see the fields kind of in the distance. It's just lovely. So this for the park up. It's just really, really nice space. You've got some kind of houses just there on the yonder, but not, you know, far enough. This is just kind of some industrial yard or something, and park in front of that. No signs. So remember, if there's no signs, you're not camping. You're just sleeping in your vehicle because you're tired, obviously, which is perfectly legal in the UK. So you're not camping. Often, like, YouTubers, including ourselves, will put van camping and stuff on the title and that kind of thing. It's just because what we're supposed to put on the title, you know, sleeping in my van. I suppose you could put that, but it's just people instantly recognise what you mean by it. But it's not camping. It's just sleeping in your vehicle. But it's lovely because you've got spots like this. Look at that, like a little beach. It's just lovely. We have been here before, ages and ages and ages ago. When we did, so the video we did actually, ironically, were stealth camping versus wild camping, and is it legal? And we ended up coming here, and we didn't stay here because it was only like lunchtime or something. But it's probably one of the best spots that you can come to in terms of safety, because you've got houses, in terms of quietness because you've got the fields and the river. It's actually ideal, is this? It's perfect. Just remember, guys, if you come into places like this, just keep the place tidy, litter pick, be really polite and nice to the locals and local residents, respect other people, you know, that kind of thing, just your usual, really. So if you're worried about how much van life costs, how to afford van life, how to earn money on the road, or if you're worried about maybe you work in a city but you want to live in your van, how do you stay in one place, you know, is van life lonely, all those kinds of things. If you're worried about all like that, we're going to cover those topics in the next sort of few weeks coming up, because I know kind of that's a lot of what people email us and messages and stuff like that. So we're going to cover those topics. So if you do want to follow along on our journey, join our little community, make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Keep writing your own story.